Welcome. This is another video in my NIV Bible reading series. NIV stands for New International Version. The International Version, and that's just the translation that is being used. Some other translations. Another translation would be the New King James Version. For an example, I don't know the differences between the different translations. Um, In this video, I will be reading Exodus chapter 17. And, yeah, so in the last chapter, chapter 16, there was basically the people were like, oh yeah, we need meat and bread and stuff like that. Back in Egypt, we had that and all that stuff. So I guess the people were like, oh yes, and all that stuff. So basically, God started uh, working his miracles and stuff, and people got quail and bread and stuff like that every day. Started getting bread and quail every day, morning, evening, and stuff. And yeah, so chapter 17. Chapter 17 is a really short chapter. I probably should have done it 16 and 17 together in one video. But my track reading program has me do has it separated, so I'm going to do so. So chapter 17 is going to be there's two sections. Going to be talking about another I guess work of the Lord, which is water from the rock. So basically, they're gonna be saying like people are gonna say, oh well, we don't got water. We're gonna dehydrate and die. But then the Lord was like, oh yes, Moses, uh, break open a rock with your staff, and then you'll get water, stuff like that. And the other one is the war with the Amalekites and Rephidim and stuff like that. And, yeah, that's gonna be interesting. Yeah, let's just get into this short chapter. The whole Israelite community set out from the desert of Sin, traveling from place to place as the Lord commanded. They camped at Rephidim, but there was no water for the people to drink. So they quarreled with Moses and said, "Give us water to drink." Moses replied, "Why do you quarrel with me? Why do you put the Lord to the test?" The people were thirsty for water there, and they grumbled against Moses. They said, "Why did you bring us up out of Egypt to make us and our children and livestock die of thirst?" Then Moses cried out to the Lord, "What am I to do with these people? They are almost ready to stone me." The Lord answered Moses, "Walk on ahead of the people. Take with you some of the elders of Israel, and take in your hand the staff with which you struck the Nile, and go. I will stand there before you by the rock at Horeb. Strike the rock, and water will come out of it for the people to drink." And Moses did this in the sight of the elders of Israel, and he called the place Massah in Meribah, because the Israelites quarreled and because they tested the Lord, saying, "Is the Lord among us or not?" And, and now we're going to get into the Amalekites. The Amalekites came and attacked the Israelites at Rephidim. Moses said to Joshua, "Choose some of our men and go out to fight the Amalekites. Tomorrow I will stand on top of the hill with the staff of God in my hands." So Joshua fought the Amalekites as Moses had ordered, and Moses, Aaron, and Hur went to the top of the hill. As long as Moses held up his hands, the Israelites were winning, but whenever he lowered his hands, the Amalekites were winning. When Moses' hands grew tired, they took a stone and put it under him, and he sat on it. Aaron and Hur held his hands up, one on one side, one on the other, so that his hands remained steady till sunset. So Joshua overcame the Amalekite army with a sword. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Write this on a scroll as something to be remembered, and make sure that Joshua hears it, because I will completely blot out the memory of Amalek from under the heaven." Moses built an altar and called it "The Lord is my banner." He said, "For hands were lifted up to the throne of the Lord. The Lord will be at war against the Amalekites from generation to generation." I was just thinking. Because I've already read it that this chapter in the New King James version. I'm trying to see if I can make if there's any remember if I can remember any differences. But it seems pretty spot on. I don't see really any differences. But anyway, yeah, that was chapter 17. So anyway, uh, yeah, all right, I'm done for this chapter, I guess.